Hello everyone and welcome to another exciting Art of War live stream. We are here not on a Thursday, but on a Tuesday because I'm joined by Nick Nanavati to talk about the Crucible Grand Tournament that we just completed in Orlando, Florida.
That's right, we can talk to you live every day of the week, especially right after we went to an awesome GT like Crucible. We had so much fun.
Indeed we did. Normally we do go live on Thursdays, but Nick and I, as well as the rest of the Art of War team, are actually going to be traveling to the Challengers Cup.
That's right, we got more tournaments
on Thursday. We've got more tournaments to talk about.
Can't go live from the plane, not yet.
Soon. Once Nick buys me a plane, I will go live from it.
We're on our way.
Yeah, we're technically closer.
But yeah, so we'll talk about, Crucible. We had a great time. John, spoiler, won the tournament. Congrats, John.
Thank you. I was trying out some of these sneaky new Raven Guard that I'm probably going to talk about.
Yeah, the new Raven Guard. Who thought? The really good army over there.
Yeah, Space Marines are actually pretty good, it turns out.
Yeah, it does.
We'll have to reflect this. So if you're just watching one of our videos for the first time, if you like our videos, if you like hearing us talk about Warhammer, make sure you like the video. As well, please leave a comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and subscribe to the channel because that's how you get notified when we go live. If maybe you were expecting us to go live on Thursday, but you didn't notice that we're going to go live on Tuesday today, if you were subscribed, you'd get notified.
And you'll know that we're doing a tier list on Thursday, because tier list Thursday is still in alliteration, technically.
Yeah.
And we're going to be ranking stuff.
Absolutely. So instead of our live show on Thursday, we'll be putting in our normal tier list Tuesday onto a tier list Thursday while we're traveling. And I think on that one, Richard and I are going to be ranking every army in the game, even the two armies that Nick and I played this past weekend.
Wait, the coveted quarterly faction data sheet faction tier list?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's the big one. We enjoy doing these because, of course, we just had that balanced data slate a little over a week ago.
Them Space Marines better be an S tier, John. That's all I'm saying.
We'll let you know. You're going to have to watch the tier list, Nick.
You are going to have to watch the tier list.
No, Nick has to watch the tier list.
I always watch the tier list. Why would I not watch the tier list?
Richard and I and our editors know where these armies went.
I'll find them.
You could look in the Dropbox. Hello to everyone in chat. Of course, as we're here hanging out with you, if you have any questions, any burning questions that you want answered, feel free to drop a super chat in there. We do make sure that we address every single super chat that you all put in there because we are so grateful for all the support that you give that lets us run these streams.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Nick.
Let's talk about some Crucible.
This
is like 100, big crew. It's like 130, 140 player tournament now.
Yeah, I think after drops, I think it snuck out to like 126. It was right in that like 120, 130 ballpark.
And it's been growing steadily ever since I started going. I know you've been going forever. So it's really nice to see. And it's like a great tournament in Florida. I think it's probably like the big Florida tournament, I would say, that happens every year.
It definitely is. Do you want to guess how old I was when I first went to Crucible? Do you already know the answer?
I don't. I think you were 12.
Okay, no, it wasn't. It wasn't that long ago.
Man.
I did start playing Warhammer when I was 12, but my first Crucible I went to, I think I was 15. So the Crucible that was just held was Crucible 15.
Okay, so you've 15 years.
And so I Crucible 1 was War Machine only. War Machine Hordes.
Really?
Because this was it was a War Machine Hordes tournament.
I saw the War Machine Hordes at this event this time. They had like 8 people playing.
Yes, yeah. The first Crucible was War Machine Hordes only, but the second one had 40K, and I went to that one.
Yeah.
I was living in Tampa. My dad drove me over because they didn't have my driver's license yet because I was 15.
Yeah.
And he drove me over to come play in this tournament.
And you've won it, what now, 7 times?
I have. This is my favorite because I missed a couple of years when I was an undergrad because I wasn't studying in Florida. But other than that, if I've been in Florida, I go to Crucible because the organizers, the community, I love it. It's nostalgia. It's home. It's a super fun event, so I'm always really happy to come back to it.
And I want to give a shout out real quick to the TOs of Crucible because like Lewis and Tim, they do a great job with the tournament. It's a very selfless act, just being a TO in general. It's a lot of work, very little thank, no real money or anything. And then all year long, they're putting on events for the community, like RTTs and little GTs and things like that, which is great. Really helps grow and keep the community fresh. And what I loved about this Crucible is that like, a lot of the community members, like actual just attendees, like kind of banded together to get the TO's little recognition prize award thing kind of at the end. And that was really special. That's something that doesn't happen at most tournaments. And I really like that about this Crucible.
Yeah, I absolutely love to see that. I mean, the competitive Warhammer scene in Florida is fantastic. I grew up here. And so I'm always very appreciative because if it wasn't, I would not be in this position that I am today because I probably wouldn't have played as much Warhammer as I did.
Yeah.
I could be just like working at a desk, right?
You are at a desk.
I could be working at a desk for 24 hours a day.
That's true.
Instead of playing Warhammer 24 hours a day,
That's
which is
true.
what I do with all my free time, obviously.
Everyone knows this job is only playing Warhammer.
Only Warhammer.
Even right now.
Yeah, we got TTS up on the other monitor right now.
That's going on. I'm on a coaching call.
Absolutely. So we had a great time here. Do you want to talk about maybe the standings on this one?
Yeah, let's have a look.
So the Crucible event, unfortunately, was having a little bit of trouble with Best Coast Pairings. So if you look at the Crucible event on Best Coast Pairings, what you're actually going to see is that everyone who made the top 16 was dropped.
And I won the tournament.
And Nick won the tournament. Nick won the elite bracket. All right, we're gonna show them.
You know, a picture speaks 1,000 words.
All right, well, I was gonna do my picture first, but you know what, Nick?
We're talking about this picture.
Yeah, well, we are
talking about how I won the tournament. I should be on the screen. Very
absolutely.
simple math.
Nick wins the elite bracket with his Eldar.
Yeah. So basically, the way it works is after the first 4 rounds, they cut you into top cut, and the top cut is not pictured here. John's going to show you that in a second. But this is the elite bracket for everybody else, and you get to keep on playing. But I won the elite bracket, having the same record as a few other people, but a higher OP winning percentage, which is totally a valid tiebreaker.
Absolutely, yeah. I think so. 3 players ended up getting a 6-1 finish here. So we had Aeldari, Emperor's Children.
Ooh.
I like seeing Emperor's Children finish well. And I think Robert Birmingham actually got the golden ticket for the elite bracket as well.
Nice, yeah,
I
because
think
Bryce
you
and
and
I had it.
you and Bryce already had one, so it went down. I love seeing the 3rd Legion represent.
Nice. But this is just the sideshow. Let's go to that big.
Yeah, so
stuff.
they actually had to make a separate event on Best Coast Pairings to reflect the top cut, just because Best Coast Pairings was being a little inconsistent this weekend, but that's all right. We creative TOs can solve anything.
Richard and Lewis were like literally drawing the bracket by hand, and they could not figure it out. It was so funny.
They need to call me in there.
There were so many cooks in the kitchen.
I know, but I love bracketology. I don't think Richard has ever filled out a March Madness bracket in his life.
Well, Richard's left-handed, so you can imagine how the writing went on this.
No, probably awful, yeah.
You know. So here you can see John won. Congrats with Space Marines, new Raven Guard. And then Richard, out of nowhere, Admech. They're back. They're back on the menu. Second place.
Nick was really...
Not me.
Richard was really enjoying the new Admech changes. As a matter of fact, he submitted them to Challengers Cup, which we'll probably be talking about next week.
Wow.
And so he took his Adeptus Mechanicus. He had a really great run. He made it all the way to the semifinals before losing to some Grey Knights that I then had to play in the finals. But we actually, despite the nerfs and the buffs, we actually see a pretty decent variety in the top here. So, like, if we just look at, like, the top 5, Space Marines, Admech, Imperial Knights, Eldar, Grey Knights.
It's pretty diverse.
Yeah, now...
It's 5 different armies.
5 different armies, and then you keep scrolling down, Astra Militarum, and then another Imperial Knight. Now, I will note that this event was using the Imperial Knight Index, not the Codex, because the Codex didn't go for sale until... pairings for round 3 were up.
Yeah, so just for clarity, this event used the index, not the codex, as John just said, but it did use the balanced data slate. It did use the new points. It did use new Raven Guard. His Raven Guard did get +1 to wound. Everything but...
Yeah, they did. As they should. Yeah, but really great to see Richard back on Admech. It's been a while, honestly, since Richard's played Admech. It feels like he's just been like a Votan Necron gamer forever.
Out of all of the Richard factions, I hate the Admech the most.
Really?
Whenever Richard plays Admech, he wins more. It's also an army I don't understand at all, so that's just not good for me.
Yeah.
Then also, if you ever played against Richard's Admech, there's a logistical element, which is counting and rolling the Transuranic Arquebus and the Rad Flenser and the Doohickey Binoculars.
The Rad Flenser?
The Rad Flenser.
I love that.
So then 300 dice later, 1 damage gets dealt. And that's annoying as hell, but it's a real thing.
Yeah, it is. That's the Admech special, baby. Yeah, for me, it's Tau. I hate his Tau the most.
Oh, I don't mind his Tau. That's a classic.
I hate that. That's why I hate them. I played against his Tau the most, and I have loathing in my heart for that.
I can understand that.
Hate in my heart when it comes to Tau. But still, it's very good to see. Like, we've got a very quick turnaround here between when we got the balanced data slate and when lists are due, and so we very quickly just like see like everyone's like thoughts on like first take on the meta, and we get a lot of different things. And yet the players that did well are all players that I know and have seen do well in the past. So even though everyone's kind of taking their first takes, these are all the first takes of pretty darn good players. You know, I've played against Nick Ancelotto's, Nick Fromm, Dave Dazawa before.
Oh, yeah.
I know all these people. I obviously know Richard.
The quality of the competition level at Crucible has really skyrocketed. I would say I had like one, maybe two easy games out of the entire 7-round stretch, and like 5 of them were like pretty damn challenging, I will say.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I had a very high opponent win percentage, and I had very high just like caliber of opponent that I played this weekend.
Everyone knew what was up.
Yeah, like day 1 was a lot harder than normal. Yeah. So I was like,
day
oh, wow.
1 I almost lost. Day 2 I did lose. Day 3 it still didn't get easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's we got David Ozawa in 5th place. He had a very interesting Grey Knight list. We can talk about that too. He made it to the finals actually. You played him, but then he dropped to 5th because, you know, them logistics out there.
Yeah, you know, it's always a little unfortunate whenever we see that the you know, like the loser of the top table kind of drop off. But let me see if I can pull up his list for us. Because he was running the new Grey Knight Codex. And now, Grey Knights are, and you know, I don't want to spoil too much about what we think about the faction tier list coming up. But Grey Knights were going into this balanced data slate as an army that was sitting at like a 39 to 42% win rate. They were in the dumps, and everyone was ragging on them. And a lot of us in the house were looking at it, we're like, I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah.
And then this past weekend, now David probably helped with this, Grey Knights went from like a 40-something% win rate to like a 61% win rate. Wow. In one balanced data slate in which they received 0 points changes.
Wow.
That is the impact of the meta changing.
Well, let's talk about that. I mean, one, Grey Knights is a tough army to like learn to play. And David, in this case, is like a diehard Grey Knight player. It's all he plays.
David is a Grey Knight main. He's gotten best Grey Knights in the ITC in the past. I've known David for half of my life.
Yeah, and then
this man loves Grey Knights.
I Knights and Chaos Knights, they seem to be shifting out of the meta. Whether they've been nerfed to crap or whatever, that's besides the point. They seem to be shifting out. That's probably because like orcs are better, world leaders are better, things that kill knights are better. And knights were like a problem for the Grey Knights over here because the Grey Knights have like a cap on how much anti-tank they have. So I think it's a lot of meta shifting going on at once.
Yeah, and so I think we're very much going to see that a lot of armies are shifting around, not just on their own changes, but because we kind of had that artificial cap on the meta of there are 3 oppressive vehicle spam armies, and you have to be this tall to ride. And all of a sudden, we're going to see a lot of creative ideas come out that were being held underwater that now have room to breathe. So I think Grey Knights are just the first example of this, and we're going to see more in the next couple weeks. Here is Big David's Crucible list.
A triple librarian. Oh my god.
Triple librarian. I had not played against these. They shot way harder than I was expecting.
Yeah, I was asking him. I was like, did these change? And he was like, oh man, they're so much better. And they explained the mind vortex would do mind bullets that they'd be throwing out. It's good, John.
So triple Brotherhood librarian armed with triple vortex at doom, because that's the gun, the mental psychic gun they come with. Basically, it's an 80-point Terminator character who's going to teleport around without any friends and shoot D6 plus 3 blast shots of 822.
Yeah.
With reroll hits because you're in Warpaint. Pretty good. Castellan Crow, Purifier character who's going to judge the Purifiers. 2 Grandmasters and Dread Knights, no enhancements. 1 Strike Squad to take the home objective. 2 Razorbacks. Land Raider. There's a Land Raider.
There's a Land Raider. Dude, I love it. 220, the Land Raider is getting play. And it's not even like doing anything synergistic. It's just a data sheet. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a data sheet. And like I talked to David, and he really likes it because it's a very good long-range shooting piece.
Yeah.
Now, let's remember, when you're playing Warpbane, you basically have reroll hits on your army when you want it and when you're willing to set it up. And we've seen that other players, like Innes Wilson, has been playing Grey Knights a little bit recently, just a couple weeks ago, and he took a Storm Raven to a team tournament with Grey Knights.
Yeah.
Because the same logic, you get that one vehicle in there that just has old Oath of moments all the time.
Yeah.
And that's actually pretty good. And so David did it with a Land Raider because his logic was that this is much better into armies like Death Guard, which are very brutal tank armies with short range. Armigers, 18-inch Meltaguns. You know, the Myphitic Blight Haulers, 18-inch multi-meltas. And it's very this is a very good tank that moves 10, shoots 18. And the Land Raider shoots 48.
Yeah. And even when it does get into those range brackets where it can interact with, it's still super tough.
It's still a Land Raider.
Still a Land Raider. Like, it's not going to die the way a Dread Knight just dies sometimes.
Yeah, if one Myphitic Blight Hauler gets within 18 of a Land Raider, the Land Raider will still be there.
Yeah, like almost assuredly.
Yeah, and so very interesting tech choice, but actually served him well because he played against Death Guard in the top cut, was able to defeat it and keep moving on. One Nemesis Dread Knight, just one regular not Grandmaster. I think that was purely a points decision. And after that, it's a Purifier Brigade. 5, 5, 10 Purifiers, because, well, frankly, purifiers are pretty darn good.
Yeah, purifiers make the Warpbane what they be. That's a really cool Grey Knight list. I'm really excited to see Grey Knights taking like different shapes and forms. I'm sad that there's no Terminators in it.
Yeah.
That's a little like not iconic Grey Knights, but there's a Land Raider and triple librarians. Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it very much seems that the that Grey Knight players are going right back to the Grot Mist attachment, but with some of the buff data sheets and the changes to the meta, that could still be an extremely viable playstyle. And it's certainly, David had a lot of success here. I mean, beating Richard's Admech is no joke.
No joke.
And certainly no one else was able to do that over the
No,
weekend.
I mean, that was a hell of a game you can actually catch it on the Tactical Tortoise stream, the semifinals, and I know it came down literally to the last turn 5 die rolls.
Yeah, it was I think the last die roll of the game
my
is what
God.
determined a 1-point game. It's,
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, Big Dave.
Big Dave in the chat?
No, just spoiler alert, Big Dave won.
I got excited.
I'm sorry, I don't think David's in the chat. I think he's got work today.
Who else do we want to kind of look at, John?
I mean, you did pretty well.
I did. I won if you asked BCP.
I did ask BCP, and they did say that you won. You want to start looking at these Eldar? You want to maybe give an explanation on this?
Talk about some.
I'm curious about this.
Rest in peace, Karandras. You know why we named it that?
Is it because Karandras is dead?
It's because Karandras didn't make it to the party, but every other Phoenix Lord did. We got Ajran, Balra, Fugan, James Arlikus, and the King Magan Ra. Oh, it was so cool.
That's 6?
That's all 6.
All 6
No one
Phoenix
else.
Lords.
Just the party.
I mean, 6 is crazy.
And then we're
6 Phoenix Lords?
Well, I kept thinking about Eldar, and I wanted to do something besides my tried and true Warhost because I needed a little shift up in my life.
Yeah, sure.
And one of the best things about Eldar is consistently the Phoenix Lords. They are actually great.
They are fantastic.
And then in Aspect Host, you give them reroll ones to hit or wound, and then they don't really miss attacks. That's pretty good also. Mm-hmm. And I wrote a list that had 5 Phoenix Lords, and I was like, well, if I'm at 5, just add the 6th. What are we doing here?
I mean, who was the one that was left out?
Magan Ra was actually the one I initially left out. And then everyone talked sense into me. You cannot cut the king, and I'm so glad he made it. Yeah. With hindsight, maybe Baby Bird Baharoth might not make it to the next one. But he was here for this one. He did great. They all did great. Then we had 5 Corsairs to just be a skirmish piece, a Wave Serpent, 5 Dark Reapers for Magan Ra, 5 Dire Avengers for Ajman, 10 Dragons for Fugan, and they fire and faded into that Wave Serpent.
Of course.
5 Banshees for Jay-Z, 15 Rangers. You still have to have trash. You're playing Eldar. Then we've got 3 Shining Spears, which I had not really tried out before this, but I actually really liked that random little one of. I've got 5 Hawks for the Baby Bird, and I have the classic coveted 15 Warp Spiders. Don't leave home without those.
So the only aspect that you were missing was the Crimson Hunter Exarch, is what I'm saying.
And Scorpions.
Oh, no Scorpions?
Because rest in peace, Karandras.
Oh, my God.
Now, I'll tell you, John, I am looking at the Crimson Hunter. If there were more fly things in the meta, like fly vehicles, it would be in. I actually think it's quite decent in Aspect Host.
Okay.
But I also hate planes, so there's a little bit of,
little bit of both.
struggle there.
Oh, man, I think you could have gotten a plane there.
This list was actually awesome.
Yeah, so tell me about this and how it was different from your normal Eldar.
So, I mean, at a conceptual level, it's really the same idea. We have a lot of great Eldar units, and we're doing Fire and Fading Fire Dragons with Skyborn Sanctuary, and we're using Rangers and Corsairs to, play the game for us.
That makes sense.
And then the way we deal damage and the way we interact our opponent is a little bit different because we don't have 2 Fire and Fades. We don't have Eldred funding that for CP. Instead, we just have badass units. And Ajman kind of Fire and Fades on his own, so that helps. And all of my Phoenix Lords just do way more than they normally do because they re-roll 1s all the time. And
I don't want you to do that.
what I found is you just table people with Phoenix Lords, and it's really fun, and it's really awesome. I did lose 1 game by 1 point to Z Martin's Death Watch. Z went on to lose only to you in the top cut. And that was a hell of a game. I mean, 1-pointer, I could have won that. He could have won that. It was knit back and forth. I do think Eldar in general struggle with Space Marines, ironically. There's just so many Space Marines on the board these days that they're cheaper than Eldar, and that's actually a problem. But overall, very happy with this army.
Yeah. I mean, I would say that I'm cheaper than Eldar only in the fact that I didn't take 6 Epic Heroes.
Well, yeah, I have to take damage somehow.
Do you have a song to sing me about these Shining Spears?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm curious about that because I like Shining Spears only because I respect an elf that is willing to commit to combat, not one that gets back in a boat.
Yeah.
And Shining Spears don't get back into Wave Serpents. Therefore, I respect them.
So they were very nice for me in this tournament. They basically Serve the same role as every little fast move blocky tool that Eldar has. It is a fast unit. It does have base size. It is OC6. You just do the basic play line of objective contest and move block, or do a secondary. That's still available to them.
Sure.
But then also they do damage to tanks in a way that Warp Spiders don't and Swooping Hogs don't. So if my opponent puts like an OC4 or an OC6 Armiger on an objective, I'm like, that Armiger behind a wall is just going to hold this objective. I can't do something about that with 5 Spiders. I can't do anything about that with 5 Hawks, but I can take it away with 3 Spears. I could probably also, probably not kill it, but do like 6 to 9 damage to it pretty reasonably. And, it doesn't have to be an Armiger. That's a very ideal case, but it could be like a little squad of infantry. It'll beat up some intercessors and stuff behind a wall because it can charge the other side really nicely. So it really just gives me the same tool that I have, but it's a little bit different at it. And I think I'm a toolbox type of player. I like having different tools that are slightly different, but all do the same kind of role. And it worked really nicely for me.
Yeah, and I can very much appreciate that. And I like that you kind of had the one-offs. I also like that you got almost every aspect unit into your list to really fit the theme.
Yeah.
I do wish that you had
the Scorpions.
I
know.
Like I was willing
isn't there to lead them.
I was the Shining Spears didn't have an Phoenix Sword either.
That's UW's fault.
Yeah. I was willing to give you a pass on the Crimson Hunter Exarch. I think that would have been going beyond expectations. I feel like you needed a Scorpion.
I feel like running all 6 of them was beyond expectations. No, did I fall short?
Exceed. You met expectations. Okay. You got to exceed.
Okay, I understand.
With Scorpions.
I'm sorry. I'm very happy I played this because great change of pace. Did really well. I had 7 actually really amazing games. 1 loss, 6 wins. Very close games across the board. And I learned a lot. I played Eldar a bit differently than I typically do. And I genuinely learned a lot that I'll carry forward into the future.
And there's a lot of value in that, right? Like once you have your list down, like you already know what your Warhost does. There is a point where like if I play the exact same Emperor's Children list again that I've been playing for 6 months, I'm not learning much from another tournament. And that's a missed opportunity. And if you can go learn some more things about your army, have a great time, have some more lessons to carry forward for the future the next time you're forced to make changes by the meta.
Yeah.
That's really valuable, and that's a great thing to be doing.
And especially because we have an Eldar group coaching coming up in a month or so.
Ooh.
I wanted to be as versed as I could in the different ways to play some Eldar so I could teach you better.
Absolutely. So get a little bit of reps in more of the viable detachments.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
I like it. I respect it. I'm interested in that.
You gonna sign up for the group coaching, John? You gonna be enough for it?
Well, I am already in the Discord, so I might sneak in there. I've got that admin privilege.
Yeah. All right. Who's next?
All right. Let's see. Do you want to talk about the Tin Soldiers, the AdMech?
We have to do it justice.
All right.
We have to do it justice.
We can talk about
we can speed run it, though. Mostly because I don't know what it does.
I was speed run it just because Richard never does. Oh.
So Mr. Siegs is playing this Skitarii Hunter cohort with all of its new buffs, with his new fancy call and his new fancy rules and his cheaper points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Richard, I think, was really excited about basically, like, AdMech got more buffs to their actual damage. It's doing the same amount of mission play tricks as before, and the tricks are just that there's a ton of
so many guys
bats on 40mm bases that fire and fade, and then he has an enhancement, so he has 1 squad of bad line that fire and fades, and it's just a lot of dudes that run out, stand on your objective, and die about 3 phases later.
Yeah, and then you can't move through them, so you're not really scoring points or interacting in any
and he just drowns you in metal rats.
Now the problem with that play style that's always existed for AdMech is sometimes you get off to the wrong foot, your opponent just doesn't care and kills you fast enough, and then you have no damage to back it up. But not anymore.
Yeah, I've had games where I just like went first against the rats, and I said, I'm just going to sprint past my objectives because he can't fire and fade past me the same way that I can't move through him, but now I'm on the objective and he's not.
Yeah.
And yeah, he gets to punch me with the entire AdMech army, and then I laugh at him and punch him back, right?
When I said you spend 30 minutes rolling 400 dice to do a damage, I wasn't exactly.
No, he's not joking. It's like when the nerd tries to take your lunch money, and you're like, what are you doing? Bang, give me yours. That's what it felt like when AdMech tried to like table you before.
Yeah.
They do hit a little harder now.
Now you have to be respectful, and you're getting jailed. And when you're being jailed, you have to be disrespectful to get out of jail. But if you're being disrespectful, now you're going to get tabled. It's very much a catch-22.
Absolutely. So Belisarius' Call now gives an Oath of Moment equivalent of pick a target, your army rules hits against it. You don't even need to have line of sight to do that, by the way. Very powerful. 2 Skitarii Marshals with enhancements. These are tried and true. Kinetic Thrallnet and Battlesphere Uplink are the Fire and Fade enhancement, and the pick a thing to be in both Conqueror and Defender protocols.
Yeah, you always see those.
That's the same as normal for Richard. 2 battle line units. One of them, probably the Vanguard, is going to be Fire and Fading because that lets it dink their OC and also fire and fade on the objective and put a bunch of OC on and just kill an objective that you're holding.
And a lot of times they go back and forth into that Scorpius Dune Rider.
Also
Scorpius
that.
behind the wall, fire and fade. It's like a wave serpent.
It's like a wave serpent, which as we all know is broken. Now, here's the next thing that got buff. The Iron Strider Ballistari, their las cannons gained twin linked. So now it's 2 shots, twin linked, sustained hits, potentially re-rolling hits against the target that call points at. These 6 las cannons, Richard was telling me stories while we ate lunch. He was telling me stories about how I was like, yeah, then I just like shot at the knight with my Iron Striders and I'm sustained, so I got 9 hits because I'm Richard Siegler and I roll 6s whenever I want to. Those were his words, not mine. And then it's twin linked las cannons. So then, like 9 hits it's not going to be 3 wounds, it's like 8 wounds.
Round
like,
2,
zap.
Richard played against my buddy Dustin. Dustin's playing knights. He's got Canis in the classic 11. And I locked over. I finished my game nice and early. They're on like turn 2. And they're like in the thick of it, so you can't really tell what's going on. And I just noticed a pile of dead knights. And I'm like, are those all dead? This includes Canis Rex. And Richard's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. So, Sieg's probably got this one. Sieg tells me later when we're home, and he's just like explaining how his game went and stuff. And he's just like, yeah, Dustin rolled all 6s. He would have died so much faster had he not rolled all 6. I'm like, Siegs, you tabled him so fast. What is wrong with you?
Yeah, so it turns out Adeptus does damage now, by the way.
They do damage.
Fun fact. Now, Sky Stalkers, 10, 10, 5, fire and fading, rats. They have a volume of dice that are good for 1 damage on the Avatar of Cain or 1 Dead Guardsman, your choice. Sikaran Infiltrators, another unit, I think. Oh, sorry, no, the Rust Stalkers is the one that got the buffs.
Rust Stalkers got buffs, but the Infiltrators were already good. So now there's just 2 good units.
Now there's just 2 good units. The Sikaran Rust Stalkers, the combat profile on these is kind of crazy.
It's like 5-2-2, right?
It's like 3 attacks, 5-2-2, hitting on 3s. But then because you're Admech, 1, you have the access to reroll hits if you need it. 2, you do have like hit harder like protocols. Like you can, I think it's not Conqueror. One of the 2 protocols gives you melee buffs. And so you can get them like +1 AP and they can advance and charge and they go +2 advance, +2 charge when they're in your battle line.
Did I mention all of these are 2 wound models with 40 mil bases and 1 CP feel no pain?
Yeah, or loan up. It's just so many rats. And
that hurt you now.
The Rust Stalkers hit quite hard now. And I mean, 5-2-2 is no joke of a profile. That is a really good profile.
They're basically flawless blades, but there's 10 of them. Was that too much? Did that hurt? Was that too close to home, John?
Why is that how you had to frame? Just because it's 150 for 10 of these, 30 attacks for 150
You could
points.
have about 4 flawless blades or 10 Rust Stalkers. It's
I hate you so much. Good thing the Rust Stalkers are faster.
I mean, you have power armor.
Yeah, no, I'd much rather be...
You always move on 3s. Think about the efficiency into the Land Raider meta.
Yeah. Hey, I should have been more prepped for the Land Raider.
Yeah.
After that, though, we do see 3 Scorpius Disintegrators with the Ferromite Cannon and the Disruptors. I think the Ferromite Cannon is the direct fire one.
The painful one.
Because I think Richard's thought is that I've seen some people arguing for taking the indirect weapon because Call's new Oath of Moment doesn't restrict you to line of sight.
Oh, God.
So you could just say, like, I'm going to pick Lycus's Warp Spider unit, just a random choice, no reason. And then, your 3, what is it? It's the Belarus Energy Cannon, I think?
I think so.
I think the Belarus Energy Cannon then rerolls hits indirect against the thing behind the wall, and you stand in the, like, +1 AP and shooting doctrine, and then you still hand a very reasonable amount of saves to the Eldar behind walls.
I really don't want to do that. If Eldar... I hate that people can always just tech more to kill Eldar.
You always can, but I think Richard's perspective on this was that he wanted the direct fire shooting, because with 3 Scorpius and the new buffed chickens, it's very much, I'm going to kill you if you stand in the open relatively quickly, and if you decide to hide behind walls, I have
jail you.
I have 4 turns of trash
to
keep you jailed and not scoring as many primaries as you want. And so he's okay if you try to hide from the guns. He would rather you try to hide from the guns because he's playing on a timer, which is that you, the opponent, only have so many turns to actually catch up on the scoreboard because he has rats all over the place with high OC and -1 OC auras and rapiding, risking, and fire and fading bats and rats. Just rats and bats all over the place.
When you back up the move blocking trash strategy with real damage, it's actually just super good.
Yeah, actually super, super good. And so Richard had a great performance there on the weekend.
But then he lost to David, who then lost to you, John.
That is true. Because I'm playing...
Sneaky Beakies.
Sneaky Beakies, baby. I'm playing the Raven Guard.
So you just came out with a little short that kind of breaks this down quick form.
I did, yeah. We actually just put that on the YouTube channel yesterday.
Awesome.
But this is my new Raven Guard list. And so we just got the new Shadow Mark Talon at the same time as the new Aethon Sean, or Ethan Sean, or Sean. I usually just call him, just Sean and Kevin, my two epic heroes. But Ethan Sean got a brand new model that is genuinely one of the best Space Marine models GW has produced in a very long time.
He's pretty cool looking.
He's pretty cool. So I was very excited to paint him.
He's got the claws of Severax.
He does have the claws of Severax. That's the former chapter master before Shrike, who was killed by Shadow Sun.
Wow, screw Tau.
Yeah, this is why I don't hate Adam as much as Tau. This is why.
Yes.
And then we have a captain with jump pack who has the enhancement to let me rapid ingress on turn 1, a thing that is somehow intended. And then we have Kevin Shrike, who is my lone operative who transfers lone operative to his unit, which is amazing. He's actually not a lone op when he's by himself. He just makes the Vanguard veterans lone ops, which is obviously perfectly fine. And he's also a Phobos keyword guy, which is just like the coolest thing. Because all my stratagems, like I'm the sneaky detachment, even though I didn't take any Phobos Marines, but Shrike is Phobos. So I get to use all the strats on him.
I know.
Shrike, I gotta say, Shrike was my MVP. So one, a Warhammer member mailed me a Shrike because he's been out of stock for a while. Mm-hmm. And so I was able to get a Shrike model. Very sweet. And Shrike killed Canis Rex with his pistol. His pistol's name is Blackout, just so we're clear. Pew! It's a 2-shot, 5.12 precision. But killed Canis Rex with that. I put 4 damage on a Dread Knight with that pistol.
Yeah, I mean, if you just roll good and they roll bad, it happens.
I mean, it is an oath target, right? I wound on 4s.
I mean, I get it. Ajumin has 6 shots at 5.12.
Yeah, the unit can advance, shoot, and charge for command points. So, like, I'm usually an inch away. There's not much cover at that point. Yep. Shrike's pretty good in combat. Shrike put in a lot of work. I would say that Shrike was my favorite part, like single favorite, new thing.
Not the combi weapon lieutenant with the Vector or the turn 1 rapid ingressing captain.
That was good.
Those need attention.
That was good. This list is awesome. I don't tell you. We had 5 intercessors because I'm playing Space Marines, and this is just attacks on the faction, which is totally fine because it's amazing.
My attacks on my faction, my obligatory troop choice just fires 20 shots and Sticky's objectives.
And you have obligatory fire dragons. We all suffer from the burdens Games Workshop has placed upon us.
That's true.
2 jump pack intercessor units. OC2 because I take Shrike. Anyway.
Yeah, how do you not run 3 of those? They're so good.
That's because of points. I mean, you tell me what you want to cut from this list, okay? And then we get to All Reliable, because you know what? I have a soft spot in my heart for Centurion Devastators.
Yeah.
Ever since that Worlds 2 years ago where I brought them in Vanguard Spearhead, I have had a soft spot in my heart for the Centurion Devastator squad. So I took 9 of them because they're cheaper than they used to be.
You really did take 9, didn't you?
I did.
Why'd you even take 9?
To shoot people with.
Yeah.
It's because...
You can only up down the 1, though. So what's the 3-man doing?
So the 3-man goes in reserves to start the game.
Oh, it just shows up.
So it just shows up. And then, like, at a certain point, it's like there's Centurions on 2 firing lanes, and you can't hide from both of them. So the one that you hide from teleports, and the other one doesn't.
That makes sense.
Yep. Yeah. And, like, if you're hiding from both Centurion squads' fire lanes across the entire table, you're probably just, like, not on a single objective marker outside your deployment zone. And at that point, I'm just going to rapid ingress like an Inceptor squad onto one of those and call it a day.
There's so much going on here.
There is, because, of course, there's also 12 Inceptors. I got 6 Plasma, 3 Bolter, 3 Bolter. And I'm not even done because we also took 20 Vanguard veterans. Jump packs.
Let me get this straight, John.
I just took jump packs and Centurions.
3 units, 12 Inceptors at 6-inch T strike. You have 1 10-man Vanguard veteran unit with Inferno pistols and a captain that's going to turn 1 ingress.
That's true.
And then get the game going. As your opponent is trying not to get tabled by these things, they have to also play the mission. And if they try to play the mission, you show up with 9 Centurions who teleport every turn and blow them up.
Yes, that's the plan, actually. And on top of that, I do have 3 lone operatives because I have 2 solo lone ops, and then I have the 11-man lone op of Shrike and his boys.
So you're just wandering around in the open on objectives doing actions. I mean, like, you cannot interact with me.
Yes, and I'm trying to draw people out so that the Centurions can fire. Because Centurions are, I think, one of the single most efficient multi-purpose damage dealers in the game. Fire Dragons are probably better at killing vehicles. And I'm sure you can find things that are better at killing infantry than Devastator Centurions, although there are not many. But the Devastator Centurion squad is good at killing everything. Yeah. There is no target beyond my wrath.
And they're super tough. Like,
they are so thick.
4 wounds, 2 up save, T6, put them in cover, AOC, nothing's going to happen to them.
They're T7. I also have cover from the detachment roll. Let's be reasonable here, Nick. They're stealthy cover.
Stealthy cover?
Yeah.
Serious? Did you lose any Centurions this tournament?
Oh, yeah. I never lost the 6-man unit, though.
Yeah.
I never lost the 6-man unit. It got dinged. David got 3 of them, which is more than anyone else got.
Wow.
Was
it the Land Raider?
No, the Land Raider died turn 1.
Of course it did. Who can't kill a Land Raider turn 1? That's normal.
Yeah, well, he tried to hide it behind his ruin on layout 1, so I killed it.
He tried to hide it behind his ruin in layout 1, where it's actually like the safest place in Warhammer.
Yeah, I rapid ingress to the 10 melta-guns. Just like walked up against the Oath target.
This is not okay! I'm just saying. Space Marines are broken. That's what I'm saying. You heard it from me, internet. I'm the Eldar player complaining about the Space Marines. Quote it and put it on the internet. Meme it up. It's true, though.
Yeah, no, it's true. Actually, Space Marines did perform much better this weekend than they were before the balanced data slate. Their win rate actually shot up to 46%.
Look, that is quite an accomplishment when you consider how many people who are at Baby's first Warhammer tournament are getting demolished out there with Space Marines because Papa G-Dubs told you to do it. And the fact that you have a 46% win rate despite all those people at their first tournament bringing down your average, I would say that's a testament to how broken it is.
I'd say I think I should get the credit for that.
John, you can have all the credit. I didn't see anyone else come up with this Raven Guard army. You can get the credit. You won the tournament. What more do you
I
want?
think I got here first just because of timing. I think we'll see a lot of other people play this archetype.
I think so.
We saw Vanguard Spearhead when it was after it became popular. It was started to be taken very widely, but
Scroll down the chat. I want to see the chat.
We'll get to the chat. We'll get to the chat. And so we do get to see that this archetype can become popular. I will not be surprised to see it again, but I don't think it's going to be as popular as Ultramarine Vanguard was, honestly. I actually don't think it's as good as Ultramarine Vanguard was.
Nothing's going to be as good as the Space Marines before they got nerfed. But then they got buffed, so I don't know.
Yeah, we got some nerfs, we got some
Turn
buffs.
1 rapid ingress is a real messed up thing. I'm telling you. It's not okay.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good, right?
Like, you have to have 3 squads of infiltrators go first to push them all out aggressively just to get you to deploy normally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the main thing is that a lot of good players know how to screen 2 turns of rapid ingress because rapid ingress is such a key part of the game. And so a big part of my list design, both in this case and in all of the others, is that I try to stress people's ability to play well against me, right? Mm-hmm. I try to make the game very complicated, complex. Let's let every player make 100 decisions and see who gets more right. I like that more than the one simplified, I run 6 Titanic Knights at you, can you handle it? Yes, no. One very hard decision, I prefer to give them 100 decisions.
John, you've gone too far. You've actually incentivized everybody, myself included, to just run straight at you, because any type of engaging you in Warhammer with this army will lead to a loss. So we're not playing Warhammer. We're just running at you and seeing what happens.
Well, Nick, I'm sure you'll be able to play against us soon, and we'll set up.
What do you think I'm going to do in that game?
I know what you're going to do in that game. I'm very excited for it. But this list, I really enjoyed it. It's very powerful. It's very fun. It's very complicated. I definitely made a lot of mistakes because I only had 2 practice games going into the event with this attachment. I played one on Thursday night or Wednesday night just to do it, and I did one as a stream game for work.
Pause.
Yeah.
John, 0 practice games with a brand new army, rolls up to a super major, wins tournament.
I just said I had 2 practice games.
Fine, I exaggerated.
Thank you.
Zon with virtually no practice, 2 practice games, rolls up to a tournament. I'm on rep 400 with Eldar over here, the most broken army in the game. No lies, Space Marines.
I mean, let's also be fair. This is pretty similar to what I've played in the past, right? It would be like, Nick, if they gave you a new Sisters detachment that the special rule of, and this, by the way, is Bringer of Fury, is the name of this new detachment. They gave you the new Bringers of Fury detachment, and the special rule is that you can advance and shoot with all of your units, and you get +1 strength when you're within 12 of the enemy. Let's just pretend they made a new detachment with that rule.
No, they didn't. They also gave it lone ops everywhere, Vector, and rapid ingress turn 1. It's not the same as before.
Yeah, no, it's better.
The same as strictly better.
Yeah,
that's the point.
It's a better detachment, but you have to take Raven Guard so you don't get Calgar.
Sisters don't get Calgar, John.
Yeah, you get Morven Vol.
She's bad.
No, she's not.
Yes, she is.
No, she's not. But ultimately, I was very, very satisfied with this Raven Guard list. I'll probably keep developing it. I don't think I'm on the final version of the list yet. But I do want to keep iterating on it because it did feel like there's a lot of potential in here, and it felt very, very powerful, and I really had fun playing it, which at this point I very much prioritize. The army needs to be both good and I have to enjoy playing it, because I've found that when I play the fun, boring armies, I don't do so well. So
No, I completely agree. I'm really glad for the same reason when I played my 6 Phoenix Lord list. I wanted to have fun at this tournament while trying to do my best, not just strictly play whatever is the best. And I'm really glad I did that too.
Yeah. So we've got a number of comments in the chat. And I guess I should actually clarify, for this tournament, the tournament organizer did rule that the whatever it's called, that the detachment does get +1 to wound from Oath of Moment, because it is a Space Marine detachment, even though it's not listed in the FAQ that came out before this detachment came out. It is listed as a Space Marine detachment in both the app and the Munitorm Field Manual, and so the TO ruled that this was a Space Marine detachment, so it does get full Oath. I expect this to be the more common ruling going forwards, personally. And I would honestly, I assume it's going to get fixed by GW once all of the new Space Marine detachments are out. They'll probably just update the document once, because I don't think GW likes to update an FAQ 6 times.
Not if I have something to say about it. If I'm heard, they will take away +1 wound from all Space Marines because they are too powerful right now.
Yeah. And then, as someone else pointed out in the chat, there was also a ruling made on Ethan Sean's charge ability. I frankly found it to be not that impactful at all, because I actually didn't find out about it until day 3. So I wasn't playing with the ruling, so I was playing with the hard version of it.
John, no one's tracking. What are you talking about?
They are.
I'm
I feel like most people I'm interacting with the chat right here.
Complete sense.
All right. Oh my goodness, this guy's throwing shade.
You're playing Raven Guard. It's got to be shady in the forest.
I'm sorry, elite bracket winner.
You should be. That's right. Show respect.
So Ethan Sean's ability is that he picks an enemy unit and you reroll charges against it. But then the second line is that if you're within 12 inches of the enemy unit that you picked, which you have to pick, and you declare a charge, you do have to declare it as the target of the charge. And so I think the rules as written interpretation of this is that if you're within 12 and you charge, you have to charge it. Some people have said, okay, this is super weird, so you have to charge it if you're 11.9 away. And they've said you only have to charge it to get the rerolls. So you can just not charge it, not reroll charges. If you charge this thing, you reroll charges. That is a better, definitely for the Raven Guard player, way to play it. I found it wasn't particularly impactful, honestly, because the reality is that for my first 5 games, I took this token and I put it on the unit holding my opponent's back objective, and I ignored it. Yeah. I just didn't play with the rule for 5 turns because I didn't want to be forced to charge something. And it didn't matter because I didn't really need to reroll charges, because everything that I was charging, I don't have that many combat units. My combat units are my rapid ingressing turn 1 Vanguard veterans and my rapid ingressing turn 2 Vanguard veterans. The turn 1 unit, rapid ingress is 9 away, moves 12, declares a charge. I don't really need to reroll that charge very often. And then my turn 2 unit, rapid ingress is 12.1 away in the open, is a lone operative, then it walks 12, and then declares a charge. And it advances in charges. So like, I don't think that matters at all, if I'm being honest here. I used it once or twice. Like, I would put the token down before I rolled like a 5-inch charge, and then I would pass the 5-inch charge and be like, cool.
They charge you turn 1 and turn 2 from 0.1 inches away. The Land Raider in the objective on the home field behind the ruin on turn 1 in layout 1 died. I got nothing left to say.
Yeah.
Let's answer some super chats.
Let's do it. All right. So we appreciate everyone's support in there. Let's get into these super chats. And of course, if you've been waiting for this moment, if you've got some super chats, now's a great time to drop them.
Super chat.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Ryan G with a $5 super chat. It was very interesting seeing John's choice to take the 3-man def sense and play out in real time. P.S. Go see his sample Raven Guard list video. That is true. I've already got quite a few videos up about this Raven Guard attachment, both reviewing the detachment on this YouTube channel. We've got some in the War Room. We've got some games in the War Room.
We're going to play some more games.
We're going to play some more games.
We're going to put Raven Guard versus Aeldari in the War Room, and then we're going to see. Maybe I'll win that game.
Yeah, maybe
I'll take it all back if I win that game. So I was going to throw for content.
Interesting. Thank you so much, Ryan G, for the support. Next from I'm Too Random. Is Raven Guard top table viable without +1 to wound Oath? If Raven Guard did not have +1 to wound on Oath because your tournament made a ruling, and that's a little unfortunate, I would say that Raven Guard is still quite good. I would say it is probably not the best Space Marine list without it. And if it didn't have +1 to wound, I would rather play Ultramarines. Now, it's still quite good, and it is far better than where Raven Guard have been in the past edition, or 2 editions actually. And so I would like to see it with the +1 to wound from Oath to take it. But it's still quite good without it. If you like Raven Guard and your TO has made a ruling against that, I think it's still a detachment worth playing.
You know what I'm going to say this army's broken one way or the other.
All right.
Redrum with the $5 super chat. Congrats, John, on the W Crucible. Great games on stream. List was fun to watch being played. Is there a version for WTC boards? Great run, Nick, too. Thanks, Redrum.
Thank you, Redrum. Yeah, so if I'm playing WTC singles, I think the list has to change dramatically because the way that WTC terrain is kind of built, it's very different from both GW or UKTC. I do believe Raven Guard is actually better on UKTC than GW terrain, personally. UKTC terrain, there's a 9-inch stripe around the boards of no terrain, so you just shoot everything. It's very open. But in WTC, there's a lot of terrain that touches the edges. It's very hard to arrive Centurions without deep strike and shoot them.
Yeah.
And so I think that if I was playing WTC singles, I would probably only have 3-man Centurions, which is painful. But there are too many maps where you can't really shoot. And so you need those 3-man Centurions to just like ingress and walk or just be arriving and accepting that they're arriving in danger because they're arriving at point blank instead of at long range. And so I don't know if I'd want the 6-man of that. I would have to test it. If I'm playing teams WTC format, I would just be very thorough about picking my tables. And I would go through the long process of looking at which tables can I play on, et cetera, and I'd make some decisions based on that. I haven't gone through that process yet. My next team event on WTC terrain is not for many months, but I will go through that when the time comes.
Nice. We got Nexus Flip with a $2 super chat. Meta does seem to be pretty well balanced, not gonna lie. Yeah, it does seem that way.
I think that the meta is gonna be in a lot healthier place than it was recently. But the question is not, is the meta balanced, Floof? Is it our metamorphs balanced, Floof? I'm not convinced on that one yet.
Metamorphs?
It might be broken.
They don't do enough.
Some people are saying
they are cheap
that they're broken.
Dude, when the 30 metamorph meta beats the Raven Guard, I will know.
I think the 5-man's better. I think it's 15. But then it becomes 45 because you just like bring them 25 of them back or something. That's just how it works. A couple members of the Worm as well. Thank you so much, Bailey, who's been a member of the Worm. Gold for 7 months. Do I think Vanguard Veterans and Centurions will survive the 11th edition Codex? It's very hard for me to speculate in advance on what Games Workshop is thinking regarding what goes to Legends and what doesn't. If I had to make a guess, I would say that Vanguard Veterans are a prime candidate for a plastic kit at some point. I don't know when, I don't know if, just to be clear. But I can logically look at the 10th edition starter box that had plastic Stern Guard Veterans. And then I can look at the 9th edition starter box that had plastic Blade Guard Veterans.
Yeah.
And so I'm willing to bet that the 11th edition starter box, please don't sue me, Games Workshop, is going to include Space Marines and someone else.
We'll see.
No promises, but I'd bet $5 that it's going to include Space Marines. And then most of the time, they're probably going to put a veteran unit in there. So either they'd make a new type of veteran unit. I mean, we just got new plastic Terminators. We just got new plastic Assault Terminators. It's like the only veteran that doesn't have a brand new model is Vanguard Veterans. Every other veteran has been updated since 9th or 10th edition. I would guess that would happen, but I don't know. Centurions, I have no idea. I hope they live forever.
I hope they die.
I hope that...
Fire.
Are you kidding me?
They're just like not... They're kind of ugly.
What?
They're chonky. They're stonky.
They're adorable.
They're little stupid and broken, you know?
Oh my god. You probably want the Storm Raven to be Legends, don't you?
I do want the Storm Raven. Flyer's not good for game.
It's not a flyer.
You know, it sure does fly.
It is a skimmer. So does a Wave Serpent. A Wave Serpent flies.
Fast, skimmer. I got it.
Yeah, it's fast, skimmer. Come on. It's totally different. Christian L has been a member of the Warm Gold for 41 months. That's like 3.5 years. Thank you so much, Christian L.
That's a long time, Christian. Thank you so much for your support.
Yeah. Let's go, John. Way to rep Codex Space Marines. That game against David was crazy. It was super fun. If anyone wants to go watch that, it's actually on the Tactical Tortoise YouTube stream, by the way. Always a pleasure to be there.
Dizbiatch has been a member for 32 months. Are you guys going to review some Challenger Cup lists? We are going to go over Challenger Cup lists in a totally different video, and we're going to definitely talk about it in retrospect next week after we're back from the whole thing. But thank you for your support. We're still breaking them down. There's so many lists to look at.
Absolutely. Thank you. And then we have Red Drum, who's been a member for 32 months. We should call you Power Armor John, because this year, all I took to GTs are Power Armor guys. Of course, only if they can fall back, shoot, and charge. What makes Shadowmark more viable than Vanguard at this moment? Well, Redrum, I don't want to spoil anything, but I have 2 tournaments left that I'm planning for this season. It's like ITC season. No, I have Challengers Cup, which I'm playing Emperor's Children too. We already know that. And then after that, I just have the World Championships of Warhammer. I'm not doing any events in October. But the World Championships of Warhammer, I haven't decided what I'm going to bring yet, but I will tell you for free. Unless something really crazy happens in the next month and they announce a new Tyranid Codex tomorrow, I'm going to be playing power armor that can fall back, shoot, and charge.
Man, you do love that.
I do. It is my favorite thing.
Yeah.
It is the best way to play Warhammer. It is a Warhammer at its most pure.
I agree. Power armor that falls back, shoots, and charges, breaks the basic fundamentals of Warhammer, is the best way to play Warhammer.
Yeah, it's the most fun. Power armor's awesome.
Fun and
I
successful.
play Warhammer because I like Space Marines.
I know. You also like Tyranids, but you know.
Yeah. Well, they don't fall back, shoot, and charge.
That's true.
So, once they fix that, I'll go back. And what makes Shadowmark more viable than Vanguard? The main difference is it's the distinction between the Raven Guard and the Ultramarines, really, because you have to play Raven Guard to play Shadowmark, and that's what lets Sean give you the command point economy of Sean giving you the ability to go up into reserves for free. That's really important because otherwise you don't have enough CP. But with it, you do. So you really want to be Raven Guard in Shadowmark for that CP economy, or Ultramarines in Vanguard, because Raven Guard in Vanguard does not have the right CP economy. And at that point, I like Calgar quite a lot, but I'll take the cheaper characters and the ability to fall back, shoot, and charge from a stratagem. That's the big thing, because Centurions and Vanguard could not fall back, shoot, and charge, and it introduced a separate loss condition to the list. The list is very complicated. There are 3 loss conditions that you are playing around. And when you play Ultramarine Vanguard, there are 4 loss conditions you are playing around, because you also have your opponent gets a Gretchen into combat with the Centurions, and the game automatically ends. And you just can't let that happen. And so you have slightly more wiggle room in Raven Guard. And because the Ultramarines one has accrued a couple of nerfs due to the Ventress changes, I think that Shadowmark offers more than Vanguard at the moment.
Awesome. And last but not least, we got Jabba with the $5 super chat. What's your current Emperor's Children list? Tried 2 Flawless Blades instead of Fiends and didn't love it.
Yeah, I've tried some games with the Flawless Blades. I'll admit I'm also not sold on the Flawless Blades yet, but I am actually taking a unit of Flawless Blades to the Challenger Cups. You can see my list. It's already live for Challenger's Cup, but the short version is that it is the same list that I've talked about in every single content piece for the last 7 months, but I replaced 1 Mauler Fiend with a Flawless Blade unit and an enhancement, Mortal Pain, which is a 5-point decrease to take the list from 2005 to 2000.
Nice.
That's it.
Well, that wraps up our Crucible coverage, everybody.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching this, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream. We really enjoyed talking about it. If you liked the video, like the video, share with your friends, leave a comment, and if you subscribe, you're going to get notified every time we make some new free content on this YouTube channel. Because I got to tell you what, tomorrow, probably going to be a game on YouTube. We usually do that on Wednesdays. Yeah. Thursdays, we usually go live, but this time it's going to be a tier list where Richard and I are going to rank every army in Warhammer 40,000. You don't want to miss that. Subscribe to the channel. And if you want to see even more in-depth analysis, more coaching games, post-game analysis, you want to see Nick talk about the chapter-approved mission deck, you want to see Jack talk about honestly everything, make sure you check out the link in the description below. That's theworm.vhx.tv. That's where you can get a free 3-day trial. If what I just said sounded kind of cool, but you're not sold yet, that's totally fine. Check out the free 3-day trial because we know you're going to love it. That's how you get to The Worm. Check out all of our content. Thank you, Nick, for joining me today.
Thanks, John. Congratulations again on winning the tournament.
Thank you, and congratulations for winning the Elite Bracket Crucible. Yeah! And we'll see you all after Challengers Cup. Bye-bye.